And we welcome you to the 19th Annual Remarkable Women's Awards, hosted by the National Association of Women Business Owners, the Orange County chapter. And we will begin our program. With the dancers from the Next Level Dance Company to Puttin' on the Ritz. And roll music.
Jazz.
Do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with end users in the air, high hats and arrow collars, white spats, lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. Now if you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits, putting on Ritz. Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, and cutaway coat, perfect fits, putting on Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper, come let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst, putting on the Ritz. Putting on the Ritz. Putting on the Ritz. Now if you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits, putting on the Ritz. Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits, putting on the Ritz.
Ladies and gentlemen, Penny Fox.
Welcome everybody to our 19th Annual Remarkable Women Awards event. I would like you to sit back and relax and enjoy your first course as we put on the Ritz for this year's Remarkable Women and You. NAWBO Orange County's mission is to position women business owners for profit, power, and the passionate pursuit of excellence. As an organization, our values are courage, entrepreneurship, community responsibility, communication, integrity, and excellence. Tonight, we celebrate 3 exceptional women business owners, all of whom clearly demonstrate those values in their businesses and in their personal lives. These remarkable women will share their stories, and they are Jeannie Lawrence of Rancho Las Lomas, Mayer Gassemian of Gassemian Law Group, and Linda Kang of Corel Design Tiles. Tonight, we also celebrate NAWBO OC's Member of the Year, along with Members of the Year of our affiliate organizations. Tonight's event took countless hours of dedication, creativity, and hard work, all done by a committee of volunteers, each of whom was simultaneously running her own business. Will all the remarkable women committee members please stand? And Marnie Ellison Smith. It is now my honor and distinct pleasure to introduce you to our intrepid leader, a truly remarkable woman herself, who inspires us with her warmth, strength, and wisdom. Please welcome our 2014-2015 President, Dee Elliott of Dee Elliott Consulting.
Thank you, Penny. Good evening and welcome, NAWBO sisters, the Orange County business community, our corporate partners, our community leaders, the media, and guests. We are so glad to have you here tonight. I want to give a special thank you to my friend and cohort, Penny Fox, the chair of tonight's event, for the tireless hours she put in to make sure that you all had a good time tonight. You know, Penny and I were attached at the hip for about 9 months. And if you looked at my email, my husband would have thought, who's this Penny person? Because most of the emails were from her. But she was an amazing partner, and she took my vision and made this happen. And I think you'll agree if you look around the room, she knows how to throw a party. We hope you have a remarkable time tonight and learn a little more about NAWBO OC, who we are, and what we stand for. NAWBO Orange County is the premier organization for women in business. From women business owners to women business executives and a few brave men. Our members stand strong, and I just got word, we are the largest chapter in the country. My theme this year is Let NAWBO Fuel Your Life. And as you speak to our members tonight, I'm sure you will find that their lives have been fueled by doing business with each other, building long-term relationships and friendships, gaining professional and business development, learning from our education workshops and our mentoring programs, and so much more. This fits nicely into our mission statement, which is to position Orange County business owners to build their power, passion, and profits for success. When I think about NAWBO and the women in NAWBO, I think our NAWBO members are bold and not afraid to create their own future. They are courageous and continue to build and strengthen even during challenging times. And they are proud to serve not only their communities, but their families. If you are a NAWBO member tonight, whether NAWBO OC, NAWBO Inland Empire, NAWBO LA, or NAWBO California, or NAWBO National, or anyone else, please stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the women of NAWBO. Thank you, ladies. In January of this year, Forbes reported that 2014 would be a breakout year for women entrepreneurs. And they cited NAWBO as one of the leading support organizations for this cause. The article listed 11 factors for women's success, most of which fit exactly with our NAWBO mission and framework. Business owners are a force to be reckoned with here in Orange County, and for that matter, all across the nation. Even a glance at statistics shows us the long-term impact women have on both the local and national economy. So here are the stats for 2014. I think you're gonna like them, ladies. Almost 60% of new businesses are being started by women. Woo, woo! And over 83% of all household decisions, and they're buying, not decisions, I'm sorry, they're buying decisions. Sorry, guys. I knew that would get a rise. But on a serious note, this year, more than ever, women are being nominated for corporate board seats, and according to a report from the Institutional Shareholder Service, it tells us that 30% of new board nominees for S&P 500 companies have been women this year. And that is up from 15% in 2008. I like those odds. And let me tell you something, this is no accident. It is directly related to the bill that was passed in Congress this year, which our NAWBO National members helped support and push through. So thank you, NAWBO National. Corporations are beginning to stand up and take notice as our businesses are getting bigger, more powerful, and more profitable every day. And I believe 2014-15 is going to be a breakout year for women business owners, especially those who belong to and thrive in NAWBO Orange County. Some of those amazing women are the NAWBO Orange County Board of Directors. It is my privilege and my pleasure to lead this prestigious group of warriors who take time away from their own families to work on NAWBO's behalf. That says something about them, and I am so privileged to work with them. They show the membership, each other, and the community that we are the 5-star women's organization of Orange County. I'd like to thank you all, board members, for all that you do and all the hours that you put in. Would you please all stand to be recognized? And let's give them a great round of applause. Board members, stand up. Thank you, ladies. You know, there's another group of champions that gives NAWBO OC life. And these are our corporate partners. As you may know, we depend heavily on our wonderful corporate partners. They provide us funds to support our education programs, our mentoring programs, our scholarship programs, and so much more. And on behalf of NAWBO Orange County, I'd like to thank these partners. And as I say your name, please stand and continue standing until all have stood up. An audience, we could break a world record tonight if no one claps when everybody stands up individually. Guinness Book of World Records has come to me and said, if you can get them not to do this, we'll put you in our book. So let me start this out. Our education partner, Brandman University. We already lost the bet. Our copper sponsors, Barbara Hogan Insurance Services, Kenobi Martin, Olson and Bear, Metropolitan Water District, PK Realty, The Passionate Collector, White Nelson Deal Evans, and our bronze sponsors, Bank of America, Microsoft, Chase Bank, Bezich, Urquidez, and Salazar, First Republic Bank, JDP Photographer, you're supposed to be standing when I call your name, Bank of the West, Orange County Metro. Did I say JDP Photographer? Because I don't want to forget her, she's so good. And Tustin Ranch Golf Course, thank you. And then, last but not least, we have our silver partner, Union Bank. Thank you, everyone. Our final corporate partner is our gold corporate sponsor, Farmers and Merchants Bank. And the reason that I kept them until last is because tonight we honor this wonderful partner, led by Henry Walker, for supporting NAWBO Orange County for the past 11 years with almost $300,000 in donations to our group. This generous man and his family have been such a support to NAWBO Orange County over the past 11 years that we literally could not have become the largest and most active chapter in the country without them. For more than a century, the Walkers have demonstrated determination, leadership, vision, and fortitude in becoming one of the strongest community banks in California, a vision they had in common with NAWBO OC. We, the members of NAWBO Orange County, would like to thank Farmers and Merchants from the bottom of our hearts for their generosity, their ongoing support, and their kindness to us. Farmers and Merchants is represented by Catherine Gonzalez, Senior VP and Chief Banking Officer, as well as our very own Marcia Evans and many of her team. Would you please stand to be recognized? Now, please join me in a special tribute to farmers and merchants.
The year was 1907. Trusted Long Beach business leader C.J. Walker had been asked to become president of the troubled Long Beach First National Bank. During an economic downturn, people began to panic. A run on the bank seemed imminent. C.J. brought in gold by rail and horse-drawn wagon and saved the day. He realized that the people of Long Beach needed a bank they could trust. He reorganized First National Bank and opened Farmers and Merchants on November 23, 1907, a Saturday morning. A legacy of service had begun. Farmers and Merchants' unwavering commitment to simple, old-fashioned values was the key to growth and success. These values have made a difference for more than 100 years. Honesty, tell the truth, and give everyone a fair deal. Integrity, use ethical principles in daily decision-making. Church, hold fast to your Christian principles. Service above self. Giving back is just the right thing to do. The results of more than 100 years of service? Businesses that have prospered, and Farmers and Merchants was there to help. From the very beginning, the bank has been deeply involved in the growth of Southern California, from a region of less than 500,000 people to the second largest in the U.S. Churches, synagogues, and community service groups have always had a friend in Farmers and Merchants. Hospitals, healthcare facilities, and doctors have seen their visions become reality with the help of Farmers and Merchants. A bank that has an unparalleled history and reputation, one of the strongest banks in the entire United States. A bank where every customer is treated like family, treating others in the way we'd like to be treated. Farmers and Merchants Bank salutes Southern California. Thank you for the opportunity to make a difference for more than 100 wonderful years.
Thank you, Farmers and Merchants Bank, and all of our corporate partners.
My name is Heidi Miller from Tide Assets. Congratulations to NAWBO OC on their 19th Remarkable Women Awards Gala. I'd like to congratulate the honorees, Jeannie Lawrence, Linda Kang, and Mayar Gassimian. You women are a true testament to hard work paying off. I'd also like to congratulate the affiliate honorees for the nonprofit organizations. Without you, Orange County would not be the great county it is today. And the women you are honoring play a big part in this. Congratulations to all of you tonight for being truly remarkable women.
This is Susan Johnson from Susan's Healthy Gourmet. 19 years honoring remarkable women in Orange County is a wonderful tradition and something NAWBO OC should be very proud of. I'm so pleased to congratulate the honorees this evening, Jeannie Lawrence, Linda Kang, and Mayar Gassimian. Congratulations, ladies, on being part of a group of remarkable women alumni who continue to make positive impacts in our community. I know the three of you will continue this tradition. And congratulations to NAWBO OC for another great year.
9 years ago, NAWBO OC established the Women's Business Institute as the 501c3 charitable arm of Women of NAWBO Orange County. It is with great pride and joy that I am able to introduce you tonight to our WBI President, Kathy Dawson, to tell you more about it. Thanks.
So there is a saying, as they say in the Women Business Owners, and that is, wise women know there's always something new to be learned. Life can provide continuous education for those who seek it. Who wants to be educated more? Oh my God, I can read this without my glasses. I'm so excited. The little things in life, right? Okay, so where can you find such women? Right here, right? How many people do we have here? A lot of people, and women that want to be educated. The ones who are always looking for what's better, the smarter ones, be more effective. NAWBO, of course. Thank you for coming tonight to see all of us great NAWBO people. I have the great pleasure to serve as the president of the Women's Business Institute, whose mission is to support NAWBO programs that address the educational needs of women business owners in the Orange County area. We do that through our monthly education classes, our mentoring programs, our success teams, and with scholarships funded by our corporate sponsors and charitable individuals. Thank you to those people who do that. We really, really appreciate it. Good idea. This year, we have a scholarship fund that is being provided by Tustin Ranch Golf Club. Where is Tustin Ranch Golf Club? Can I see them? There they are, yay! I wish I knew how to golf. I need to win the scholarship. So they have given us a $1,000 scholarship to a women's business owner who demonstrates these 9 core values of golf as they relate to their businesses. You would imagine that these would be the case. What do you think they'd be? 9 things, right? 9 things? Honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, respect, confidence, responsibility, perseverance, courtesy, and good judgment. I'm so happy that you decided to give us that scholarship because we have lots of women in this room that are exactly those 9 values. Thank you so much. As you can see, we have great partnerships with distinguished industry leaders in our community. WBI thanks our corporate sponsors in helping us provide these educational opportunities to our members. Thank you guys so much for everything you do.
Hello, I'm Kim Shepard, CEO of Decision Toolbox, and I want to congratulate NAWBO Orange County for their 19th Remarkable Women Awards Gala. That is quite a feat. I also want to congratulate tonight's 3 honorees. Jeannie Lawrence, Lifetime Achievement. Wow, I can't wait to hear all the wonderful things you've done over the life of your career. And Linda King, Business Owner of the Year. You've combined hard work, corporate culture, corporate thinking to build the company that you've got today. Congratulations. And Mayar Gassimian for the Entrepreneur of the Year to Watch. We'll be watching you this year. So congratulations to all 3 of you. You are all truly remarkable women.
If you
Each year, our members select a fellow member who has shown exemplary service and support to our organization. This person has put time and commitment into NAWBO OC that will continue to benefit its members for years to come. She exemplifies the spirit of NAWBO OC, successfully running her own business while helping others to run theirs and increase their success. And this person has fun while she's doing it. The 2014-15 NAWBO OC Member of the Year is Dawn Pravorchik. Come on up, Dawn. Where? Stand right here by me, girlfriend. Dawn has been an active member of NAWBO since 2010. She began volunteering on the Professional Development Committee as the Associate Director of Education. She then became the Vice President of Professional Development and then the Vice President of Member Services, where she currently holds her hat. Her business, Neo Design Concepts, extends a spectrum of marketing services on all platforms, ranging from print media to internet and mobile devices. They are a one-stop shop for your business advertising needs. Please help me congratulate my dear friend and our NAWBO OC Member of the Year, Dawn Pravorchik.
If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it.
Penny, will you join me on the stage?
Before I start, I just want to acknowledge that the ice you see on me and D is from Black Star and Frost. Pretty nice icing, huh? And just one bit of business, if you have changed your seat from the table you were originally assigned, check with the front desk, because if you're a silent auction winner, they won't be able to find you. So either go back to your original table or please check with the front desk. Each year, NAWBO OC provides our affiliate organizations with an opportunity to recognize one of their outstanding members. By doing so, we all celebrate the accomplishments of these women and raise awareness of the powerful economic and social impact women have on our community. This year, we recognize the outstanding members of 7 affiliate organizations. I'm going to read them off. Please hold your applause until the end if you can. So let's see if you can do it this time. Okay. Our first organization is Accounting, woohoo, and Financial Women's Alliance. Their honoree is Millie Culpepper. Our next organization is Orange County Women Lawyers Association. And their honoree is Laura Hess. Our next organization is Working Wardrobes. And their honoree is Ana Conriquez. And our next organization is Girls Inc. Their honoree is Melissa King. Our next organization is Women Helping Women, Men to Work. And their honoree is Ruby Dunek. Our next organization is the National Association of Women in Construction. And their honoree is Lynn McVean. And our last organization is the YWCA. Their honoree is Rosa Maria Gomez Amaro. Please join me in acknowledging our top affiliate organizations and their 2014 remarkable honorees.
Thank you, ladies. Aren't they great? We're so happy to have them. Each year when the Remarkable Women's Award event starts, taking applications, we call on outstanding past presidents, past remarkable women, and community leaders to be part of our selection committee. This group is led by someone that the president chooses and knows will keep the committee and operation on track. The selection committee put in countless hours behind the scenes, vetting nominations, checking criteria, conducting background checks, and completing the very difficult task of determining who our remarkable women honorees would be. We'd like to thank them for volunteering for this position and ask them to stand and remain standing until all are called. So what do you think, audience? Can you do it this time without clapping? I think you can. First, our chairman and dear friend of mine, Pam Adams, Wells Fargo Advisors. I knew you couldn't do it. Past presidents, Susan Johnson, owner, Susan's Healthy Gourmet, LifeSpring, and Zan Chocolates. Lorene Gilbert, owner, Wealthwise Financial Services. Maureen Ryan, owner, Heritage Associates. And past RW recipients, Gina Reed, former owner of Paragon Biomedical. Vicki Betancourt, owner, Coney Bear Inc., and Kim Shepard, owner, Decision Toolbox. And our community leaders, Linda Duffy, Ethos Human Capital, Lisa Locklear, North American Ingram Micro, and Steve Churm, VP of Freedom Communications and the OC Register. Thank you all to our committee members for doing such a great job. And audience, you didn't make it that time. We got one more chance. Now you know why the Guinness Book of World Records doesn't have this in there. So now it's time to meet our honorees. The first is Entrepreneur to Watch. The criteria for the Entrepreneur to Watch is a woman who founded her business within the last 5 years and is a majority owner of the company. She has demonstrated exemplary entrepreneurial achievement, is well-rounded as a business owner, and a role model for others to emulate. Tonight's entrepreneur to watch was born in Iran. She came to the US, earned her master's degree in physics, and was a college professor at Cal State Long Beach. But that wasn't enough for this ambitious woman. She then earned her law degree, became an attorney, quickly making partner in more than one large firm, winning multi-million-dollar cases, and this still wasn't enough for her. 3 years ago, our honoree formed her own law firm and quickly grew it to more than 130 clients, all through referrals. She enjoys a sterling reputation in her field, serving major construction and business clients, as well as serving as the secretary of one of the Orange County Bar Association's sections. She also volunteers her time to a number of charities, all at the same time, while raising 2 boys. This year's, two children, 1 boy and 1 girl. I saw her beautiful daughter earlier and it just hit me. And she is gorgeous. Check her out. This year's entrepreneur to watch is Mayar Gassemian, owner of Gassemian Law Group.
As a young girl, Mayar Gassemian dreamed of flying high, high above the earth.
When I was a little kid, I wanted to be an astronaut.
Mayar pursued that dream all through school and with her choice of major in college in her native Iran.
I had a physics teacher in high school who told me I could never do physics, and by golly, I was going to prove him wrong. So that's what I did, and I loved it. I really liked it.
She stayed with physics, getting a bachelor's degree in the field from the National University of Iran. Then she came to America at the age of 20 and got a master's degree in physics at Cal State Long Beach. While there, she started working, which led to other jobs with businesses here in the United States, taking her into a different orbit.
I got into financial services with Prudential Financial Services. I stayed with that for about 3 years, and that kind of got me started about thinking about law school.
Her mastery of 5 languages, including English, aided Mayar with her law studies.
Luckily, I had the background for it. I had very strong English skills. When I came here, I didn't even have to take 1 course in English. So that helps a lot because as a lawyer, you have to write quite a bit. And talk.
She found law school challenging on several fronts.
The volume of work is just incredible. So to be able to manage that alongside of having kids and helping them with their homework and having a house to run, etc., it was quite challenging.
After working for several law firms, Mayar decided it was time to strike out and start her own practice, a courageous leap of faith in herself.
It was the entrepreneurial spirit that I had. I'd always thought about having my own practice, and it was time. I had had enough experience, over 11 years at the time, and had been involved in enough cases that I had the confidence, my abilities as an attorney to do that.
When she first started her own practice, Mayar only had 4 clients and just 1 active case. To get more cases, she had to get out into the market. And one of the key ways was by networking through the Orange County Bar Association in NAWBO, where Mayar joined their mentoring program and learned an important step in networking.
I think not being selfish is extremely important. In networking, you meet people. It's important to have them in mind, because if you have them in mind, they'll have you in mind. And networking, despite what a lot of people believe, is not just passing business cards, it's building relationships.
Though she now has a thriving law practice, it was not without some challenges to make it successful.
When your mortgage is due and you don't have money in the bank, it's hard to keep the spirits up. But we've done it and it's worked. I think the other issue that as a business owner you get to learn about is that business has its cycles, it goes up and down. So don't panic when it's down and don't start doing nothing when it's up.
Mayer was recently honored by the Orange County Metro magazine as one of the top attorneys of Orange County in 2014. Even with her success, she plans to keep growing her business.
Go after what you strive for, and you're never too old to dream, or never too young.
Ladies and gentlemen, NAWBO's Entrepreneur to Watch for 2014, Mayer Ghassemian of the Ghassemian Law Group.
Once upon a time, somewhere far from here, a bright-eyed little girl looked at the sky and wondered what it would feel like to walk on the moon. She told herself, I'm going to be an astronaut someday. Well, she didn't make it as an astronaut, but tonight she is walking on the moon. What propelled her along the way was being inspired by those around her. My inspiration has come from so many sources. Far-sighted parents who valued education above all and did without a lot of luxuries to make sure their children attended the best schools in the city. A brother who, as my only family member, in the US, has seen me through thick and thin and been a constant confidant and my rock for the last 35 years. Another brother who has lived in another country for 36 years now, but we're so close that we can talk for hours. Children who helped me grow in so many ways while I was raising them, and are now adults and are my good friends, and who love me, as my daughter always says, to the moon and back. I promised I was going to cry. We can't always keep those promises, can we? Friends who are like the best of siblings and who have supported me through my life's peaks and valleys. A not-so-little nephew who has been the best cheerleader and marketing manager the Ghassemian law firm has had ever since, at age 11, 4 years ago, he designed my first website. And in 2 hours, mind you. And finally, my fiancé, whose love and encouragement has been a constant blessing in my life every day of the last 2.5 years since he came into my life. These people have inspired me to live a life free from mediocrity and compromise, one which enables me to lead and to learn and to take it all in stride, remaining at my best, when life has thrown not only curveballs, but cannonballs at me. So, what happened to that bright-eyed little girl? Well, in the few decades that followed, her life took her in so many directions. She moved from Iran to the US and studied and then taught physics and electronics, worked for several years in the corporate world, yet never forgot her ideals. She especially didn't forget that her dad told her, "You never finished your education," even after a master's degree. Of course, he expected a doctorate. My father passed when I was in my 30s, and his passing was a pivotal point in my life. The sense of loss was enormous. I had this anxious feeling in the pit of my stomach for the longest time. My dad was a unique man. Tall, handsome, charismatic, and with very progressive views towards women and their role in the society. He treated me, his firstborn, no differently than my brothers, which I later found out was very rare back in the 60s, even in the West, let alone in a more conservative country like Iran. His extreme influence on my life and his very high expectations made me rethink the direction in my professional life after he passed suddenly at the age of 67. I came to re-examine every facet of my life and realized that my career was not contributing to my contentment. So I started thinking about school again. Sure, I wanted to make my father proud by getting a doctorate, but I also wanted to satisfy my inner desire to help people in addition to having a good career. Law gave me what I wanted. I remember sitting in my first law school class and thinking, this is it. I love this. And then there was my mother, a career woman, a trailblazer, who became a school principal overseeing 30 teachers and running a school of 200 students when none of her female relatives had even attended school. She was a great role model of an independent woman, and will always be, and a source of inspiration throughout my education, especially law school. It was a long, arduous road. Heavy course load and very heavy family responsibilities, of running a household with 2 small children who were 4 and 7 at the time, made it harder than one can imagine. But I'm stubborn. I don't give up easily. I graduated in the top tier of my law school, and along the way cultivated incredible friendships that will surely last a lifetime. I finished law school and passed the bar. I often joke that I did it on the first try because I didn't have time to take it again. That's the way I saw it. I was ecstatic. It was finally going to be smooth sailing. You know what's coming next, right? However, life had other plans. My personal life began unraveling as my law career was starting to flourish. My ex-husband, whom I had been married to for 23 years and loved dearly, lost his business and along with it, his sense of self. He became clinically depressed and finally in 2005 left us. I was alone with a broken heart 2 kids, 13 and 16, a large mortgage, and a demanding job in a large law firm where I had to put in 10 to 12 hours a day. We were further set back by the incredibly premature and devastating loss of my 18-year-old nephew, who was like a son to me and a brother to my children. Our sense of depression and disillusionment was almost beyond words. Yet, as I have often done in my life, I got up, dusted myself and my kids off, and set off in search of our elusive dreams. Throughout our daily struggles, I was blessed to have the ability to go to work and click a switch and step out of my personal problems and into my professional space, where I could concentrate on my clients' issues and needs, find solutions for their problems, and in turn, this gave me the strength to handle mine. I enjoyed practicing law and was doing very well in my professional career, working hard, learning fast, as I did not have the luxury of time on my side. I found myself narrowly focused on the goal of becoming a partner and managed to attain that goal in short order in an established firm with 12 attorneys. I considered myself lucky to be involved in complicated multi-million-dollar lawsuits and able to use my technical background in construction cases, which helped me on my way tremendously. However, the dream of owning my own practice was always with me, and I finally decided to quit my firm in October of 2010. This was both frightening and exhilarating. It was like jumping off of a high cliff. The next day, I started working from my dining room table. The challenge was to find clients. I had some clients that I brought with me, but only one matter that was pending and I could actually work on. So I started networking and developed a great number of business relationships in the 4 years that followed. NAWBO has been and will always remain a big part of my networking efforts and a fantastic support group for me since I first got to know about it during this very celebration 3 years ago. As a result, I believe my children, who are now 23 and 26, have become much stronger too. They have seen a lot in their young lives and are wise beyond their ages. They're now responsible adults whose words and deeds I cherish and feel proud to have delivered them to life's bigger stages. So, to anybody out there who's facing a professional or personal challenge, I say, don't be afraid. Follow your heart, take the chance, and jump off of that cliff. Do not be afraid of failure, and along the way, you will find strength, courage, wisdom, and some fantastic people, like the women in this room tonight, to help you along. There are no limits as to what one can accomplish with some thought, hard work, and then a little calculated risk-taking. As a famous Persian proverb says, go as far as you can see, and when you get there, you'll see even further. So, even though the little girl in Tehran, whose name happens to mean lover of the moon, was dreaming of walking on the moon, she could not have imagined the honor that would be bestowed upon her by so many smart, dynamic, and remarkable women of NAWBO to be called a remarkable woman. Thank you all for listening to my story, and I wish each and every one of you a walk on the moon.
Get in between us. That girl is on fire, isn't she? Our second category this year is Business Owner of the Year. The criteria for Business Owner of the Year is a woman business owner who has propelled her company to the next level of success through a significant business accomplishment in the past 12 months and has been in business for at least 5 years. This year's honoree was born in Korea, grew up in Dubai, and came to the U.S. by herself at the ripe old age of 17. Determined to be successful, she graduated college, earned a degree in accounting, and passed the CPA exam on her first try. But numbers were not her passion. Art and design held her heart. Showing entrepreneurial courage, she bravely bought out her employer's failing business, paying payroll tax out of her own savings. Her fearlessness, natural business acumen, and artistic talent allowed her to take this company from failure to success. She landed contracts with major companies such as Costco and Lowe's and became wildly successful. This year's Business Owner of the Year honoree is Linda Kang, owner of Corel Design Tile.
I'm a very girl's girl and feminine women, and when I got into the industry, even though it was very male-dominated and male-oriented, I did not want to give up me being that feminine woman.
Linda Kang, CEO and founder of Coral Design Tiles, has brought that feminine sensibility to the tiles she designs for her business.
I take ideas off of any material, so I could take mirror chips and then mix them with stone to create a new line. I can take stone, different exotic stones, mix them with glass, mix them with porcelain, mix them with ceramic.
But the journey to those different finishes was a long and tough road for Linda, one that started with a marriage that went sour.
Everybody thought everything was great. We lived in Stanford. My husband at the time, he was a PhD student, engineer, and we had good pay, we had a good house, but just him and I, even though we dated all these years, didn't know what the married life was going to be until you actually start living together.
But Linda, while working in accounting, found something else. She started consulting with a Korean company that wanted to expand their tile business into the U.S.
I said, wow, I could really, put some of my style or my sense of art and color into this.
Her journey into the tile business was challenging for this young Korean woman.
When I entered, which about 12 years ago, it was just dealing with men all the time, sometimes much older than I am.
Eventually, Linda became a partner in that company, bringing her sense of design and helping that company grow its business in the United States.
We were getting featured, getting interviewed from HGTV at our trade shows, and so we got all these attention, and I was like, wow, I guess I have some talent in this.
Then her journey to success hit a bump in the road. Her Korean partner gambled away the company's inventory and its payroll. forcing the company to close. Linda felt so bad, she paid the workers out of her own savings. Linda was now facing a decision: return to San Francisco or stay in the business.
I took whatever savings I had in my bank account and I said, okay, I'll do this and I'll see where this journey goes.
Linda signed a building lease 10 years ago, then started making trips to China, Vietnam, and other countries to line up factories to manufacture her own special tile designs. Then she lined up dealers for her tiles, including one very large company.
4 or 5 customers who were waiting on our products to get launched, and one big one obviously was Costco.
Linda's company started getting some prestigious projects from all around the world.
We were able to get into some new projects. I mean, we've done projects in places like Dubai, which was fun. We did the pool in the tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa, so that was fun.
Linda got through those difficult times in her journey to success through her faith.
Reading through scripture and getting my motivation there it just starts my day. I mean, that's how I start my day. And without that, I think it would have been very, very difficult.
Although she realizes she has life pretty good, she hasn't given up hope of finding the right man to share her journey.
Yes, praying for that right kind of man, yeah, to, maybe build up a family or a more permanent relationship. The stress today, the issues that's there, it seems really big, but at the end of the day, you'll be okay. And you just gotta take it as, you know what, I can survive this too.
Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO and founder of Coral Tile Designs and NAWBO's Business Owner of the Year, Linda Kang.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And a special thank you to the video production team for publicly having it out there that I'm looking and praying for a man. Okay, who knows? Maybe it'll land me a role on the next Bachelorette. Joking aside, thank you, NAWBO, for this award. Again, besides giving me a video I can post on eHarmony, this honor gave me a wonderful opportunity to look back and reflect on my journey up to this point. The conclusion? My life is a circus. Little background. I was born in Korea, and growing up over there, men were viewed superior, smarter and stronger, entitling them to the role of being the decision maker, both in and outside of the home. I didn't really agree with that. When I was 8, my dad moved our whole family to Dubai, where polygamy was legal and expected. As a young girl, I would see a man walking in public with his 4, 5, or even 7 wives. While men in this country have a hard time dealing with one, right? The culture and way of life there emphasize that women should not stand out, speak up, or have opinions about anything. My family pretty much stuck to these views and traditions. The best toys, the better schools, the more expensive clothes, they were for my brothers. Household chores, they were more mine. That didn't sit well with me. I thought men and women should be equals, and I was determined to prove it on a daily basis. I won my share of races, arm wrestling, and even speed eating contests against my brothers, just to prove to myself that men and women are equal. As we got older, I found the new battleground, intellect. I read like crazy. My brother's school textbooks, an old Bible, and even Encyclopedia Britannica. Rest assured, if it was in our house and had words printed on it, I had read it. At age 14, my mother took me aside and said that if I couldn't do anything useful with my life, she would sell me to an Arab man. And I had a classmate whose 17-year-old sister had just been married off to a 45-year-old man. And I took this threat from my mom as dead serious. She viewed her sons as asset, her daughter as a liability. And my dad's construction business had its ups and downs. So if things got real bad, I thought, hey, I'm the first to go. So from that young age, I was filled with a purpose. I tossed out my dream of becoming an artist or ballerina and began thinking of a plan. I realized I needed to consider not so much what I liked, but how I could leverage on the framework of my parents' value system. I began to sell my parents on the idea that their money would be wisely invested by sending me to the United States to become a CPA. You see, my Asian parents, they're suckers for diplomas and certificates on their walls. I studied hard, skipped few grades, and at 17, I was an accounting major at Michigan State. Thank you. My first year in college, I met a Korean man who eventually became my husband. He seemed pretty liberal when we were dating, but don't ever let the dating phase fool you, ladies. As soon as I got to the end of my wedding march, well, let's say I had avoided a harem, but managed to walk right into what seemed like a North Korean dictatorship. He controlled every aspect of our life together. He told me when to get up, what to eat, what not to eat. He even told me to chew 45 times before I could chew or swallow my food. I was in America, I was educated, and I was miserable. It didn't make sense. I was unhappy and felt so helpless. All my life up to this point, I had always relied on my inner strength to carry me through. This time, I couldn't find it. So I prayed for help. Well, help came. Like so happens, help came in the form of a request for help. Out of the blue, my brother called and asked me to go to LA and help a tile company from Korea in setting up their US office. I knew nothing about tiles, but it would be fresh scenery, a break from married life, and to me, it seemed like the promised land. I got right to work, helping this tile company set up their business in Orange County in LA. I taught myself everything I could about tiles. I read a mountain of books on running a business and on salesmanship. The owner of the company didn't speak a word of English, so he let me handle everything, including warehouse, equipment, hiring, designing products, import, sales. You name it, I did it. I became a partner in 7 months. We got great responses at Las Vegas trade shows, yet my partner became distracted. And before I knew it, he had gambled away every penny out of the company bank account and borrowed money against our inventory. In less than 18 months, I had gone from a novice in the tile business to partner to broke. I had lost everything. Everyone expected me to go back to San Francisco, but I decided to stay. I withdrew my savings, borrowed more, and settled the debts. Then I signed a 3-year building lease. This was a very scary step because I didn't even have enough money to cover 6 months' rent. Sometimes it all feels like yesterday, although it was a long time ago. This October marks my 10th year in business as Corel Tile. What a ride that was. Being a business owner is a lot like running a 3-ring circus. Managing money is like walking on the tightrope. Managing employees is like training wild monkeys. Add inventory and stock control, now you've added spinning pins walking on that tightrope. Combining travel, deadlines, and marketing is like executing fancy acrobatic backflips so the audience or your customer finds you interesting enough to applaud and come back for more. Can anyone relate? Like many industries, and perhaps circuses, the tile industry is run by a bunch of big, burly roadies, a description that I would never fit. There were days when I walked into a room full of men giving me this look of, what is this little Asian girl doing here? And just as I learned how to get my parents to send me to America, I learned how to excel. And along the way, I've done my fair share of cigar smoking and whiskey drinking. Well, more than a little whiskey drinking. I once downed a dozen shots of raw 100 proof alcohol in 15 minutes so I could show those Chinese men that I was there to do serious business. I have flown in a plane sitting next to live chicken and have eaten what is called exotic foods at business lunches in just about every country in Asia. From all my travels, I've learned one very important life lesson that I'd like to pass on to you today. Keep a Snickers handy. A Snickers bar in the bathroom right before the main course of roasted pigeon brain or puff pastry filled with frog saliva can really save the day. And yet, a Snickers can't solve every problem. The economic downturn of 2008 was a profound turning point for me, as I'm sure it was for some of you. At that time, everything related to construction came to a dead halt. We had 80% drop in sales, customers filed bankruptcy, turning my accounts receivable into bad debts. Hundreds of my dealers shut down their stores, and my designer clients, they were handing out resumes for office and waitress jobs. It was tough. In the midst of the storm, I recall something I tell my customers. I would tell them, invest in a great floor and wall. They are the foundation on which you will build the rest of your interior. I turned that question inward and asked, what is my foundation? What sustains me through tests and storms? The short answer is God. And for the first time in my life, I was relieved to realize that I wasn't in control, just a steward with a purpose. How did that help me in business? First, it gave me a clear head and sense of peace and joy, instead of running around like a frantic, stressed out clown. It allowed me to strategize and focus. I cut my overhead, I cut my staff, I renegotiated my lease, dropped inventory, and shifted the business model from a stocking dealer to commercial architecture. I outsourced customer service and hired independent sales reps. And I became my own assistant, the janitor, the sales staff, and the designer, the shipping manager. I handled logistics and managed the finances. I even began to answer all 10 of my office phone lines. It was crazy, but there was a silver lining. My clients absolutely loved the fact that they didn't have to go through anybody to get decisions made. I fought, I wrestled, and I made it through 2008, 2009, and the 3 years that followed. Today, we report multi-million-dollar sales. We're proud to do business with Costco, Westfield Malls, Direct Buys, to name few of our clients. Corel Tile has created more than 180 new jobs at our factories. We serve 1,900 Lowe's stores nationwide. We opened up a concrete tile factory, and we doubled our warehouse space. These are just a few of our wins in the past 3 years. As I look back on my life, it really has been a circus. But I've enjoyed it. All my trials and circumstances have left me with amazing skills. I'm a juggler, an acrobat, a clown, and a lion tamer. I can read the future better than I used to, and I can throw a hammer with the best of them. Sometimes I get to eat the cotton candy and fried dough of life, yet I always carry peanuts in the form of Snickers. Life is full of obstacles. They are a test. Yet, with a strong foundation and a sense of humor, they can lead us to the best and the brightest opportunities. By the grace of God, I had passed my test and learned to embrace the circus of life. In closing, I wish to honor my family. Thank all my friends who are here to support me. I want to recognize my team at Corel, especially Peter, who's been my right hand. I want to thank NAWBO and all the great people in this organization. I also want to thank my sisters from WPO who's here to support me. I have made lifelong friends with the women in this room, and they enrich and empower my life. On your table is a Snickers bar. When you enjoy it tonight, I want you to think of the lion tamer and the juggler and the acrobat within you. You're mighty and you're talented, and you too are celebrated here tonight. Thank you, and God bless you.
Very nice, honey. Very nice. Oh, let's get a picture. Grab your award. Awesome job. Over here. You want to hold your award? Oh, yeah. I can hold it. I'll let you hold it. Girlfriend, you're getting a standing ovation. Wow, that was something, wasn't it? I'll tell you. Our final category is Lifetime Achievement. The criteria for Lifetime Achievement Award is a woman whose success is substantiated by at least 20 years of continuous business ownership. Her tenacity and longevity in business demonstrate her ability to overcome challenges, assume risk, and survive adversity. This year's honoree exemplifies these characteristics and more. Throughout her life, our honoree has met challenges and faced setbacks, never letting fear get the best of her. Her talent for style and detail, along with her passion for animals, has seen her career go from restaurant and hotel proprietor to the owner of one of Southern California's most exotic and beautiful event destinations, which, along with gorgeous outdoor and indoor event facilities, includes a nonprofit zoo where people at her events can actually go and see these animals while they're there. She is also a well-known philanthropist supporting many Orange County charities. And this year's Lifetime Achievement Award winner goes to Jeannie Lawrence, owner of Rancho Las Lomas.
As a young girl, Jeannie Lawrence didn't think she would eventually own and operate a premier event center in Orange County. Her dreams were centered on show business.
Funny thing, I didn't want to be anything except a tap dancer. So when I was 5 years old, I was in tap class. I found that I didn't have very much rhythm, but I loved it.
Her childhood dreams stayed with her while growing up in Fort Collins, Colorado. Then she decided to follow her dream to California when she was 21 years old.
I actually moved to California thinking I would be an actress, a songwriter, but that didn't work out.
There she met her future husband, Richard Lawrence, a developer with interest in property near the Newport Pier in Newport Beach. A world traveler, Richard wanted to settle down and buy a ranch. The couple found a place, a small 22-acre ranch off of Santiago Canyon Road, and forged some dreams for Jeannie.
He fell in love with it, and we just decided that this would be maybe a place that we could get out of Newport Beach, come somewhere that we could raise a family, and just get out of the Newport Beach hustle and bustle.
The couple held their wedding at the ranch that was eventually named Rancho Las Lomas. They lived there while Rick developed much of the McFadden building in Newport Beach into several restaurants, including the Dormian Inn and the 21 Oceanfront restaurant, which Jeannie ran. Jeannie and Rick also loved animals and brought that into the ranch, starting with a few peacocks, parrots, and ostriches in 1985, and eventually getting a license for some small wild cats, and eventually some bigger animals.
Right now we have 2 white Bengal tigers, a red Bengal tiger, we have zebras, alpacas, macaws, other cats are on site, there's lynx, caracal, servals.
The animals are now part of a licensed zoo, founded by the Rancho Las Lomas Wildlife Foundation Jeannie founded 2 years ago, to open the facility up to visits by schools, children's groups, and more. As the animals, trees, and gardens grew at the ranch, fate stepped in and sparked Jeannie's entrepreneurial spirit.
A friend of mine came out, who was a caterer in town at the time, came out, saw the location, and she said, "You know, Jeannie, I'd love to use this place. It would be a great place for a small event, and I'll pay you." And Rick and I looked at each other and went, "Oh, well, maybe this is something we should consider."
Consider it they did, and do it they did, but not without some challenges.
In the beginning, the challenge was taking a private home and turning it and opening it up to everybody to come in at whim, and that was the hardest. So it wasn't necessarily a challenge, it was a big decision to make, that are we going to keep it as a home or are we going to turn it into an event facility?
But overcome the challenges they did, and over the next 25 years, built Rancho Las Lomas into the premier event center it is today.
Rancho's been a labor of love. Every step, even the battle, has been a labor of love. And it was my passion and my calling. I know I was meant to do this.
Jeannie's husband, Rick, passed away in 2005, but her husband's spirit motivated Jeannie to keep going. Now she's looking for another challenge, another opportunity.
My husband and my 2 children are very similar, and they're all 3 dreamers. And so it's really fun to watch those boys dream their life into reality as well. So I'm enjoying it.
Looking back at the legacy she and her family built, Jeannie has advice for other young girls. The same advice she would give herself as that little girl who wanted to be a tap dancer growing up in Colorado.
I would say to her, always dream. You can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. Just never be afraid to walk around the hurdles to find it.
Ladies and gentlemen, NAWBO Orange County's recipient of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award, Jeannie Lawrence.
Nothing to lose. Fire away, ricochet. You take your aim. Wow. Fire away, shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium.
Ooh, wow. wow, what an honor this is to stand here. I can't even begin to tell everyone how I feel. After watching that video, whew, I think I've said everything I need to say, except thank you. But I have learned something this evening, and I just want you to know, Linda, you're hired. Who knew that you could work in a circus? I kind of have a zoo, so I think it might work. At any rate, and Mayar, I've had a pleasure to get to know these two ladies in the last, oh gosh, 2 months, I guess. What extraordinary women, remarkable women. So thank you so much for including me in something extraordinary. I don't even really know where to begin. 35 years, I'm just going to overview it. First of all, I'm just going to look at the crowd for a second. Oh my gosh. First, I was raised in Fort Collins, Colorado. My father was a math teacher, and my mom, she was a homemaker. My parents divorced when I was just a child, so my mother was left with the daunting task of raising 4 unruly children. Me being the only daughter, I have to say I might have been the most unruly. But my mother, she was, I used to think she was quite a pushover, but I always thought that she was very smart. She was very kind. And I always knew that she had an incredible, deep inner strength. Most of my childhood memories are of her cooking in her kitchen, playing the piano, concert piano, I might add, but mostly digging in her beloved gardens, pruning daily, constantly introducing every single person that would come in contact with her to her roses. I used to think that she was kind of crazy and kind of weird, and I thought that she was wasting her time, of all things. Who does that? Who works in a garden? So I didn't like school very much, so I floundered, and I admit that I wasn't much of a student. But I wanted to figure out what my career was going to be, and I remember when I was in school, my career counselor brought me aside, and he tested me. And he asked me what did I want to do, and I go, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a songwriter, or maybe I'll write a book, or I don't know, maybe I'll do something. But I was such a child, I had no frame of reference of anything. So he said to me, he goes, you know what I think you should do? I'm going to test you. And he did, and it came back that my vocation that I tested for is I should be an interior designer. Now, I'd never heard of that, so I thought, how boring is that? I'm not going to do that. So, and I had decided anyway, because I was coming to Hollywood, and I was going to be an actress. So at the age of 21, I moved to California, and I found my job, not in Hollywood. I found it at South Coast Plaza at Bullock's in the jewelry store. What do you do? And which was a lot of fun, except I really hated, putting the ends on earrings. I thought, gosh, this is dreadful. And then you have to inventory that. But I thought that, so I did that, but it was only months later. I was here 6 months, and I met, and then later married, Rick Lawrence. Rick Lawrence was a real estate developer. He was a wrangler of property. He was a shoot-from-the-hip kind of guy, and if anyone knew him, he was very charismatic, and he was so much a maverick, hard to pin him down. He had a strong point of view, and he always expected the very best, particularly from me. We were married in 1980 at our home, Rancho Las Lomas, and soon after had our 2 sons, Richard and Brett. Our life became this undeveloped piece of property in Silverado Canyon, kind of in the middle of nowhere at the time. We had a grove of 500 orange trees that just large enough that Sunkist would come and pick. We had a small tractor and a darling little hackney pony with a pole cart named Lady, and then 32 acres of wooded land. This was where we were going to build our lifelong dream. Rick was very intuitive. I didn't think so at the time, but he saw something in me that I had not. He was not very book smart, but he was an amazing businessman. He had large ambitions, and his entrepreneurial drive kind of pushed me to find what my entrepreneurial drive would be. So he helped bring them to life. I'll never forget the day, ironically, when he told me that, Jeannie Lawrence, you are going to be my new interior designer. I thought, how does this happen? My head exploded, both because it was so ironic, and then probably because truly I thought I was going to fail. Suddenly, at 24 years old, I was in front of architects, engineers, electricians, building inspectors, county officials, lawyers, accountants, you name them. I became acutely aware that I had to elevate my skills quickly. Much of what I needed to know, I had to learn by doing. And unlike school, this time it was different. I wanted to learn. It was compelling enough this time because I knew that I was creating myself. And honestly, I loved every challenged minute of it. I started placing myself among peoples whose work I admired because I learned that no matter how well I was performing, I could always be taught more. I gratefully stood on the shoulders of my associates and my women friends, and I soaked up their courage and their wisdom. My husband, Rick Lawrence, also gave me a platform and encouraged me to launch my many careers, including designing and operating the Doryman's Inn Bed and Breakfast, 21 Oceanfront Restaurant, the Red Car Bar and Grill, and Harlow Haven in Palm Springs, just to name a few. However, nothing I have ever done has brought me more joy, more sleepless nights, more sadness, or more of a feeling of accomplishment than my home, Rancho Las Lomas. Together, Rick and I wanted to build a dream, to renovate the original buildings, build new bungalows, sprinkle them among the oaks and sycamore trees on the hillsides, and create something that we had seen so many years earlier in some of our travels around the world. We were avid collectors. We loved finding recycled salvage materials, windows, bricks, tile. And then my favorites, to finish the interiors of each building using antiques and art. I have to say I've been blessed beyond words. I have traveled the world searching for treasures, looking for really nothing, but things that I could bring home and I could put around the grounds and place among the gardens. You wouldn't know this, but all the street signs placed along the roadways at Rancho are all from Pasadena, and some of them are from the original Route 66. One of my fondest memories, 30 years ago, I went to Portugal and accidentally found a tile factory that Rick and I had spent 2 days commissioning, 22 murals that we placed on the exterior of all the buildings. If you come to the ranch, you see that they're placed everywhere. They're the blue and white, kind of Delft looking. They're absolutely stunning. But we spent 2 weeks doing that. So that was something that I'll never forget, because it was probably one of the most fun things among so many. But that one sticks out, because that one's history, and it's still placed there. Unfortunately, as life goes, Sometimes, right when you think everything is going as it should, in 1998, my world got shattered with my husband's stroke and the ultimate diagnosis. He was suffering from Alzheimer's disease. After a heartbreaking and devastating battle, my 22 and 23-year-old sons lost their father in 2005. Since his illness, I have devoted the last 15 years, determined to keep this dream alive, to continue building our once private family home into a renowned location that today handles over 150 weddings and special events each year. And then my beloved foundation that I started 3 years ago for the wild animals, which is now the Rancho Las Lomas Wildlife Foundation. I just want you to know that the majestic animals that are on site, which I have been in my care for many, many, many years, offer today a real necessary experience for young school-aged children, which is one of the reasons that this is so important to me, because the children who come to visit the zoological garden are coming for educational purposes and programs, and we try to inspire these kids to understand really what each animal's place in this world is. So it's very exciting to me, but it is hard to believe that still today, many inner city students have never seen a tiger or a zebra or even a goose in real life. I've always tried to be really aware of the natural surroundings. So at Rancho, one of my other favorite things is that there is a rule. So if you take a tree out, Brett Lawrence, if you take a tree out, you make sure you put 2 more back in. So along this incredible journey, I've learned the importance of discipline, integrity, and patience. I learned that overcoming challenges and financial adversity involves a moment-by-moment decision to not give up and to keep going. Believe me, my inner voice goes back and forth between, oh my gosh, really? Or you're completely crazy, or I'm on the right path? I tend to think that I'm on the right path because I've had to accept that the setbacks would come. And when they did, to move quickly past them. I have always tried to find something positive in every negative, particularly when the negative is easier to see. My faith, my deep faith, my personal strength has served me well in getting refocused over and over again. My greatest professional breakthroughs have truly come when I have confronted them head on, had my most difficult decisions. I think success comes when you love what you do. And you know, I have loved what I've done my entire career. I've been blessed 35 years to do exactly what I've wanted to do. I've also tried to be mindful of my clients. Forgive me, John, Norm, Kara, because I know I need to be mindful with clients when they come on, and especially an emotional bride or a family member, because I realize that I've created an environment where they too can fulfill a dream. Their special event or wedding will be held in their memories as well forever, just like mine have been, so I fully understand the obligation. Today I get to share my life and work with my grown children. I remind them that everything of importance is in their control, including a sense of humor, asking questions, and truly protecting your character. I have the sole responsibility of teaching my boys that they are what they do And the better they do it, the more they will gain from it. And ultimately, only hard work will become the vehicle for your dreams. Richard and Brett. Richard can't be here tonight. He's being punished. No. Brett, I have faith in you. I love you. Well, it's not all perfect. Sorry. So for 35 years, Rancho Las Lomas has been my sanctuary, and I am but a grateful steward of its rustling leaves and daily rituals. I have always said that a place this special needs to be shared. And with so many of you here tonight in front of me, Sue, Marianne, Catherine, Kara, Susan, Kathy, so Jim, my Alzheimer's friend, thank you. So many in front of me tonight, and so many of you in the audience. If you have been part of the Rancho Las Lomas legacy, all I can say is thank you for allowing me to come into your life in a small way. And I'd also like to thank NAWBO for allowing me the opportunity to stand up here and acknowledge everyone that has meant something to me in this way. It's remarkable for me to stand here in front of remarkable women. So I'm honored beyond words. So thank you so much. Then there's one just last thing I just kind of want you to know. My life has kind of gone full circle. And even though my mom can't be here today, I know she's around, and she does think I'm kind of crazy. And she knows that my greatest joy today truly is, and let me say to you all, please come out to Rancho Las Lomas and visit me and allow me to share my roses with you. Thank you all so much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Umbrellas in their mitts, putting on the Ritz.